What is up, everybody out there? I hope everyone had a nice weekend. Give everybody a second to tune in. We're talking about something today that is, I think, really important for everyone. And if you are watching this for the very first time, just remember we are going live every day during COVID-19 recovery to help you level up and stay on top of your Amazon marketing. Over at Ad Badger, we go deep on Amazon PPC, talking about campaign optimization, what you should be doing in your campaigns, all of those good things. So be sure to go to adbadger.com/live so that you can find out when we publish these every single day at 3 o'clock Central Time, right here from Badger HQ in Austin, Texas. We've been covering things like how to manage your PPC during a crisis. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, by the way. We've been talking a lot about loan assistance and mindset and what we've been doing to help our customers inside of our software and in our managed services program, how we've updated our bid algorithm to better reflect what's going on in the market, power of money-saving negative keywords, all these good things. So I hope everyone out there is having a fairly good start to their week. Some cool news. Yes, this has been happening more and more. Juanjo says delivery times are getting shorter. That is helping sales some, of course. I think it'll be continue to watch and monitor that and sort of talk about those external factors influencing sales, like ship times and fulfillment centers and whether or not they're handling everything. The thing that I wanted to touch on today, because it is Monday, I wanted to do a Monday mindset. Every time we talk about mindset on this show, whether here or in our podcast, it seems to be received well. I know that I wake up almost every single day and I'm dying to get better sort of ingredients, better input into my brain so that it can help me sort of better navigate and better function and make better decisions during this time. So the better things that you can put into your brain right now, the better output and the better outcomes you will have. There's that quote of be careful of your thoughts because your thoughts become your words and your words become your actions and your actions become your destiny. So better ingredients. And that's what we hope to do today on this show, Monday Mindset, for Amazon marketers, Amazon entrepreneurs, and just e-commerce business in general. So jumping into this should be a relatively quick one because the lesson that I wanted to sort of talk about today was I've been finding myself over the last week or so continuing to say, I can't wait until things go back to normal. I can't wait until this recalibrates or that happens and like everything just goes back to normal. And I think the thing that is helpful now is that, you've heard that's a wrong wish to have. It's sort of saying, I hope this changes to give me an easier time. I hope Amazon fixes their ship dates so I get an easier time. I hope some politician does something so I can have an easier time. And if you think about that line of thinking, like, I hope things go back to normal so I have an easier time. And I think that line of questioning, like, it's a little sneaky because at the surface of it, it doesn't necessarily seem like a lot of negative thought. Like I think it's totally normal to wish for things to start behaving again normally. It's for Amazon Prime to mean what it always means for us sellers and conversion rates to sort of return back to maybe what they were or whatever it might be. Just to sort of have a less hectic time. I think it's very normal and natural to have that response. I had it. And then I sort of caught myself over the last few days sort of saying, it's kind of sneaky actually how unhelpful that thought is. And what I've been really thinking of over the last few days, which has made me feel a lot better and more motivated and more amped up and more excited and more eager to take on some of these challenges, is instead of saying like, oh, I can't wait for things to go back to normal so that, I can have an easier time and it's not so stressful. Instead, sort of turning that coming from the inside and bringing it outside, which is more so, what can I do to become a better navigator of the situation? What can I do to increase my resilience so that I can deal if this goes on for another 90, 180, 365 days? What are the things that I can do to remodel the way that I think so that when things pop up, I'm better equipped on how to handle them? So, for the context of our audience and our ecosystem of sort of Amazon marketing, I've seen a lot of people start taking a lot of action inside their campaigns. What do I have to do? How do I have to make it better? All these good things. That's fantastic. And I think we can elevate that a little bit more instead of saying like, oh, it's, COVID-19 time, like go do these things in your campaigns. Ideally, instead, we develop a stronger internal muscle. Hopefully you've done more than just modify your campaigns to react to, what's happening, but instead develops a better framework for your business. And that is a new normal that you can always take with you. That is a new normal that you can navigate and push through things as they appear much, much stronger. So instead of saying like, oh, this happened, let me react to it, start building up that internal database of tools. Start building up that and sharpening all the tools in your tool belt, that it doesn't matter if it's, this thing that's happening right now or what's going to happen in the future. You instead can have a real, sense of, I can deal with anything that is thrown at me because I've made it this far. I've made it through worse and I'll make it through harder things. This is just another opportunity for me to sharpen my skills. And that sort of switch between saying, I can't wait for this to be done, I can't wait to go back to normal, versus what do I have to do to strengthen my resiliency? Where's the opportunity in this? What can I do to become a better business person, marketer, husband, wife, partner, whatever it might be? Like, those are things that are worth asking. And I think what I've been doing over the last few days is sort of hearing that and then asking like sort of better questions, the right questions, going internal. What can I do here? And I think that's sort of the lesson that's made me a lot more motivated when I sort of approach a lot of these things that are happening right now. So those kinds of thought patterns, instead of asking, I wish this was different, always look internally, because you can't change those external factors. You can't control what your ship date will be from Amazon. You can't control what your conversion rate will be. You can't control, economic forces way outside of your individual business. You can't control those things. But what you can do is you can identify those things. You can identify that reality and then make better decisions based off of it. You can ask, instead of, I wish things were different out there, you can instead ask yourself, what can I do to better react? What can I do to better learn? What sources of information do I need to level all that up? And I see Juan has dropping some really good comments and better questions, and sort of how to think about this from just an immediate, like, man, I wish this was different, but instead analyze those things, look internally, and ask yourself what you're going to do about them. And that is our Monday mindset. So I've caught myself over the last few days really sort of getting frustrated at some external economic factors, whatever they might be. And instead, what I've done over the last sort of 24 hours, which has made me feel a lot more empowered, is really start asking, like, what is it that we can do internally to better navigate this situation? What can we do to better adapt? What can we do to better improve our resiliency in this new landscape? And that's been really exciting, because as soon as you identify, that you can control so many things, how you feel, what you do, what sorts of information that you take in, how you're going to react, all of those things, you find the best course of action. And that is really empowering to know where that is. I've read before that a lot of business stress and business anxiety often exists because the plan isn't clear. So looking internally, seeing where you want to go, and clarifying that plan is really the way to handle it. So that is it for today. Don't forget, everyone, we are going live every single day. On Monday, we do mindset things. The rest of the week, it's all about strategy to make your campaigns on Amazon better, to make your marketing on Amazon run a little bit better. Let us know in the comments what your biggest issues are. We'll always look at those. I know that we have some more budget stuff coming up this week because last week we touched on budgets and we had a lot of comments and a lot of questions. So be sure to follow us on Facebook and on YouTube, where we share a lot of this stuff. We're also on Instagram too. Emma and Nancy are doing such a good job of getting the word out on those social channels. That is it for now. Have a good one, everyone, and I will see you inside the Badger Den.